Hello, I'm Al Haystack, and I'm doing a little piece here about spiritual practice. Bob Dylan said, "We're either busy living or we're busy dying." That's a quote that I've utilized in context of conversations with men over the years about spiritual practice and spirituality. Those life-enhancing activities that help us to address the deepest questions and mysteries of our lives. Therapy, I think, is a part of a spiritual practice, a trusting relationship where I am seeking health and I'm seeking some kind of healing and acceptance around bad memories, traumas, a way to make more sense of my life. Fountain Hill Center looks at mental health and, and wellness together. No stigma. We all have problems. We all have issues. And most of us in our lifetime will have some family member or even ourselves that's going to be in need of mental health services at some point or another. Wellness isn't just about addressing a problem. Wellness is about the whole person's health and well-being and trying to also develop that. Spirituality can help with therapy, and it can also promote and sustain wellness when the counseling ends. Spiritual practices include a multitude of things, a partial list: yoga, fishing, reading, playing music, listening to music, meditation, exercise, woodworking, gardening, prayer, knitting, being in nature, connecting with friends, watching a Michigan State basketball game. The last one's an inside joke. One of the spiritual practices that I have emphasized, especially with men over the years, is being in nature. Listen to this quote from John Denver. Walks in quiet solitude, the forests and the streams, seeking grace in every step he takes. So that's Denver talking about himself. And so many men relate to that notion of finding grace and finding some kind of peace in the outdoors, something bigger than them, a place where they can find perspective. So, no argument for men about that recommendation. Get out into nature, um, have that be part of your spiritual practice, have that help your mental health issues and feel better about yourself. No argument there. But where I get some pushback, where it's more difficult, where it's more challenging, is the second one, the last one that I think is so important. And that is men developing an inner circle, a couple of guys, a few guys that they're close to, that they can be accountable to, that they can be open and vulnerable with. Um, I have to admit that one took me a very long time to figure out, but it is really a powerful practice toward wellness and mental health. So 2 years ago, my wife and I were taking a train trip to Idaho to a gathering, and on the way there, I observed four guys, late 20s, 30ish, having a conversation that made me think about being back in the counseling office. They were talking about relationships and their feelings, and thought, wow, this is kind of odd on the train. Anyway, I went over and introduced myself. I told them I was a counselor from Michigan and I was kind of curious about their conversation. And they told me that they were on the way to Glacier National Park, where one of them is going to get married, not there, but they were having a bachelor party. And I thought, gosh, when I was in my late 20s, early 30s, that's not what guys were doing for bachelor parties, at least the people I was hanging around with. I thought, that's really something. Here, these four guys were going to Glacier because they're really close friends and they wanted to spend time together and develop this kind of male bonding and support and accountability. So it can be done. And when men do it, they have less shame and loneliness in their life.